Well, everybody, welcome back to the daily edition of the Trade Podcast of Joy, your afternoon edition as you're driving home, almost 4:30 here on this Monday. I hope you're doing well. How are you guys? Got my Gozo bell, got my Gozo mugs back there. I don't have my Gozo hat, but you're welcome to Gozo Street. Viviendo la vida loca, or Gozo, as we like to say here. Your daily dose of Gozo. Jamba juice for the soul. Gozo, by the way, means joy in Spanish. Talking today about how to manage your time. Who struggles with time management? Everyone, right? You waste a lot of time. You're not getting your schoolwork done. You're not getting ahead on your work. You're not getting ahead on your educational or financial goals, or maybe fitness goals. And you think, man, I'm just wasting a lot of time on social media, or maybe on complaining, or whatever it may be. I want to help you, because the reality is that every successful person that I have met that makes $100,000 or more a year, they are experts at managing their time. I am living proof of that. I'm not necessarily saying I'm rich or anything, but every successful thing that I have done in life, whether it's financially or with my lovely wife or having the home of our dreams and family of our dreams, has come as a result of managing our time. So how then can you become more efficient, not perfect, at managing your time? So I want to give you a few tips. I have some slides I want to share with you. So let's get into the show here on this beautiful drive home so that you can watch this and learn. Maybe you're watching this after the fact. Either way, I want to just start with this quote. My lovely wife and I were there in Northern California. I think we were almost actually to Oregon. So we were on our way up to see her sister, and we stopped by this beautiful beach resort, and we spent a few days there. But this quote, I love it. It's something we came up with. Always choose what matters most. Love, unity, faith, and happiness. The rest will come. Always choose what matters most. And in my case, as you can see from that picture, what matters most to me is that woman of my dreams who makes my heart sing. 25 years this year, and the rest will come. So make sure that you always spend time. And by the way, we'll talk about my free coaching program here in a second. Let me go back. I think I want to start with the first slide here really quick. So let me just go back here and start with this one. Okay, so here we go. Number 2, or the next slide. Time management principles. Time management is the number one and fastest way to make $100,000 a year. Did you know that all of the top earners, Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Warren Buffett from Bank of America, Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Rock, all these movie stars, all of them prioritize time management, and that's how they've become successful. They all do it differently. They all teach different techniques, and I'm going to go through a few. I'm going to go through here a few techniques with you, but all of them, and by the way, they make a lot more than 6 figures. But all of them, they talk about not about working hard or about going to school. They talk about managing their time, because so what if you get into the school of your dreams so you can't manage your time? What if you find the job that you want, but then you can't manage your time? So this is very important. So next slide says most people waste a lot of time. You may think, oh, I'm good. I got this. Well, are you good? Let's read these. Top ways you're wasting time. This is from a study that was recently done. Complaining. You're like, I don't complain. Well, you may know someone who's complaining to you, right? Commuting during rush hour. Oh boy, can you say amen to that? I used to drive to LA and back every day for 3 years. Oh my goodness. Gossiping. Again, don't think that you're not the one. Maybe you're the one gossiping. Doing other people's work. Oof, amen, right? Can you say amen to leave me a comment below if that's the one for you, right? Social media and TV, don't tell me that you only do it once in the morning. And I mean, come on. The statistics are that most people spend over 20 hours a week online. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever it may be, Twitter, this is an epidemic. And it's not just to go and, I don't know, look at your mom's pictures. It's a lot of complaining, commuting, gossiping, all this stuff that's now happening online. You might not be a social media person, but you're watching a lot of TV or listening to a ton of sports radio. And that's the same thing. Hanging out with negative people, procrastinating. Yep, I'm guilty of that one. Indecision. A lot of analysis paralysis out there. 5 rules. Okay, here are the 5 rules to time management in order to make $100,000 a year. These are from some of the best mentors that I have read about. Number 1 is use the 80-20 rule. In other words, do what you're best at 80% of the time. That principle is really easy. Now, you may say, well, I have to go to work. I have to take care of the kids. I got to go and clean and cook and blah, 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 do laundry, and I'm exhausted. I'm just watching a little bit of Netflix at night. I get that. But again, remember the first thing I said, a lot of us, we spend and waste a lot of time, even though you don't have any time. But with the time that you do have after your rest, after your sleep, after you work out, we tend to waste a lot of time. Now, what do you do then with your time? This rule says spend 80% of whatever time you do have doing what you do best. Now, what I do best is speaking, training, coaching, and music. So most of my free time after I do what I have to do in life and to pay the bills, I spend doing this because that's what I love. And I feel like I'm the best at that. It gives me the best results, the best feeling, the best connection with people. What do you do best? If you don't know what you do best at, here's a quick way to do that. Text your 5 or 3 closest friends, your mom, your sister, and your best friend at work or school, and say, hey, what do you think I'm best at? You might be like 16, you might be 86, you might be 36. People can easily see what you're best at and what you're not. And you might not be even surprised because you might think, oh, I knew that. Great. Focus on that 80% of whatever time you have available. Oh, but I have to go to the gym and I'm so tired. Again, if you want to accomplish your financial goals, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. You're going to have to actually change your habits in order to reach your financial goals and make $100,000 or more a year. Number 2, know what motivates you. This is very important. I use the 4 M's. I've learned these from different mentors. These 4 M's are crucial. They are money, mating, mastery, or movement. Money is someone who's motivated from material things. Now, before you think that's negative or wrong, you have to be honest. I have a friend. She is amazing at making money. She is a rich person. She's rich. She drives an amazing car. She dresses amazing. She has tons of money. You know what I see in her? Not that she loves money, but that she helps other people make money and make their dreams come true. If you are great at something, guess what you're going to do? You're going to help other people become great in that as well. For me, it's easy. Mastery. I love being the best at teaching, at coaching, and music. And guess what I do when I get more knowledge? I share it with you. You have to know what you're best at in order to then share that with other people. Maybe your motivation is movement, meaning freedom. You want to be financially stable so you can leave, you can travel, you can buy a house up in the hills, you can go and go with your boyfriend or your wife or your husband away for 3 months. You want to retire at 40. You want to have freedom. That means you have to align your schedule and your time to make sure that you are moving towards that goal. You have to then analyze your time and say, am I actually spending 80% of my time, including maybe schoolwork and must-dos like laundry? Am I spending 80% of my time doing what I love to do, what I want to do, what's going to get me there, what motivates me? You might do an assessment and you might realize that you're spending 80% of your time doing things that you hate. That seems to be most people, right? You need to be honest about that. What motivates you? Maybe it's mating. That's not like being promiscuous or having 10 boyfriends. You might be lonely. You might really want to have a husband. You might really want to be dating someone. You might be in a relationship that really matters to you. You might simply just be motivated because you love people. This is probably number 2 for me. I love people. I love my wife. I love our kids. I love interacting, coaching, being with people. It's not necessarily love or much less mating, but it is about connecting. So I have a lot of friends, male friends, that I love spending time with because I love teaching them and I love the rubbing of shoulders. You might be like, I don't really like people. I just want money and to travel. It's good that you know that because if you're spending most of your time with people and maybe trying to be the best at school, then guess what? You're going to burn out and you're never going to get to your goals. Number 3, prioritize what makes you happy. Now, obviously, God is, I'm assuming that He's the foundation to everything in your life. So assuming that He is your foundation, what has He put in your heart? Ephesians 2 says that you are a masterpiece, that you are God's poem, that you are basically like an orchestra that He's writing through you. Maybe if you're not musical, maybe you want to think you're a book. He's writing a book through your life, page by page, chapter by chapter. What is He writing through you? What makes you happy? What is the thing that you want to give back to the world? Prioritize that. For me, it's speaking and music and coaching. I have a friend who knows what he doesn't like. I always tell him, hey, dude, can you come play with me some music? 'Cause I love music. He's like, dude, I like music, but I don't love it. I said, what are you doing? He's like, I'm writing a book. Oh, wow, really? What for? I want to have money so I can go and build a school for the kids back home. Wow. He knows what he's prioritizing. If you don't know what your priorities are, guess what? Everyone will make you their priority. Make sure you know what makes you happy. Now, you may say, I don't know what makes me happy. Everything makes me happy. Again, poll the audience. Hey, mom, what makes me the most happy? Oh, honey, when you're singing, you're the happiest. When you're with friends, you're the happiest. Oh, okay. I'm gonna prioritize. I don't mean going out and having having parties, but maybe there's something in that social connection that you have. Maybe there's a business in the making. Maybe there is a song that you're writing with friends. Prioritize what you love. Number 4, stop trying to be perfect. Instead, use the 90-10 rule. I'm not a perfectionist, but I find that a lot of people that are afraid to put themselves out there, singing, writing, whatever, it's because they're perfectionists. Or maybe it's more they're fear-fectionists is what I call it. They're really afraid of failure or of looking silly or of not being accepted. Maybe they don't like to speak because of their heavy accent, or they don't have the right training. Maybe they don't like to sing in public because they think they don't sound very good, or they compare themselves to Ariana Grande or whatever. Remember that 90-10 rule. 90% of your perfection is 100% of my perfection. What I mean by that is that even if you're not at 100%, you're better than most people. Even if you're not at 100%, let me say it again, you're better than most. And if you actually spend the rest of your life working on that 10%, you are losing at life. You're not going to achieve your goals. You're going to actually waste your time waiting to be amazing, waiting for that perfect class or training or I don't know, to get older, and you're going to waste your time. Would you rather, I heard this the other day, there's this guy named Mr. Beast online. He's 20 years old, and he's the most popular and most successful person online on YouTube. I think only second to PewDiePie. More successful than Casey Neistat. Mr. Beast, check him out, a 20-year-old millionaire. Someone asked him, would you rather be a millionaire at 20 or a billionaire at 100? He's like, a millionaire at 20, right? What's the point of you trying to be perfect at something while time is passing by? Remember, you may not be on this earth tomorrow, next week, next year. Take advantage of the time that you have now. Stop trying to be perfect. Put yourself out there. Now, what if you fail? Keep at it. What if you fail again? Do it again. Do it for 2, 3, 10 years. If it's what you love, you will never give up. Endure, persevere. Then the last principle, which I think is so key, is to be accountable to someone else. Use online apps. When I was in the best shape of my life in my early 40s, late 30s, I used my Fitness Pal because I loved how other people would see my running and how many calories I was not eating or eating. And, you know, it was uncomfortable for me at first, but over time, I liked sharing my knowledge with other people. I definitely liked it when I was able to share this app with my wife, with Rochelle. We would both be on my Fitness Pal, or maybe even before apps, we had this book and these charts that we printed out, and we both had them on our wall, and we both would look at our calendars and be like, oh, wow, I'm so proud of you, love. Look, you ran 5 times this week. I'm so proud of you, David. You worked out with heavy weights, 3 times this week, whatever it was. That accountability, now it's so easy with apps, my Fitness Pal. I mean, there's a million of them. Use ways to be accountable. It might be that you don't like any of the stuff and you just want to call a friend and say, hey, I went for a run today. I had a couple of friends that were telling me about their 6 a.m. club. And what they would do is if they were trying to go running at 6 a.m. is one of them would text the other 3 in the group chat, feet on the floor. And then the other person, if their feet were on the floor, meaning out of bed, they would say feet on the floor. And then assuming they would then go for a run. Whatever method you want to use, be accountable to somebody else, especially if someone that you love, your roommate, your sister, your friend, your mom, your husband or wife. It's the best thing, even if they're not doing the same thing with you, even if they're not managing their time exactly the same way, they might be in a different kind of way, in a different system. At least you're sharing your experience with them. Now, speaking of techniques, as I was saying earlier, there's no one size fits all. Some people say wake up at 6 and just go hard. Other people grind. Other people like to be like Rochelle. She likes to be on her desk, at her desk, in her office by 7:30. For me, I spend 6 to 10 a.m. in the morning thinking, visionarying, praying, meditating, spending time with my children and Rochelle. I like that kind of that slow start, and then I go hard from 10 to like midnight. There's another person who's also a millionaire who starts his day, he says, at 1 p.m. because you can't really have any great ideas until 1 p.m. Jeff Bezos, who's the owner, billionaire of Amazon, you know what time he starts his day? Not at 4, not at 5, at 10. Now, The Rock, on the other hand, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, amazing bodybuilders and Mr. Olympias and amazing movie stars, they both start their day at 4 a.m. and it's structured. 4 a.m. they wake up, 5 a.m. in the gym, 6 a.m. back in the office, 7 a.m. they take a shower, 8 a.m. out to breakfast, 9 a.m. boom, business calls. They have their whole day structured and it works for them. Of course, they adapt it as they age, as things change, but they have a very structured approach. It doesn't really matter what you use. I remember the days of the Frank Covey. Remember those day planners? I love those things. I mean, whatever method you use, make sure that it's along these principles that I'm teaching you of being accountable, of knowing what motivates you, and of most of all, I think of really doing what you love most of the time. So if you want help with that, I offer, this is a slide I showed you at first, a free coaching program. Rochelle and I are coaching people for free. First call is free, and then after that is only $1 a day. You get 4 calls a month by either of us, by me mostly, if you would like to talk to me or to her. And you get free access to the online vault of all the videos and trainings, all the webinars that I have done over the last few years. You get access to all of those for free. There's this exclusive website where you go and you download all the stuff on your phone. You can just look online through YouTube and through different places, so you can watch the video vault. But most, I think, what people like the most is to actually interact. It can be through Facebook Messenger, text, email. It doesn't have to be in person. In person, it's a little more expensive because it's more of a premium content. But this is more of a call. It can be on the phone. It could be through Skype or Zoom or whatever it may be. And I'd love to help you just with your time management, especially. You know, time management is the #1 technique that most people that make 6 figures use to be successful. I know that's what I've used. I'm not saying I'm rich or anything, but in my, not only in my church life, but also in this aspect of what I do here with coaching and Trig Media and my music, this is what makes me successful. When I was working out all the time, it was a very regimented routine. I find that things like working out or losing weight, you have to be very strict because obviously we all want to eat what we shouldn't and sleep, right? But when it comes to other things like your daily routine, maybe there's some flexibility there. You have to know yourself. You have to know who you are, what motivates you. But I think most of all is get on a plan, be accountable to someone, a coach, a friend, and see the results. Try it for 3 months, 6 months, and see if you actually make more money, or maybe you do lose some weight, or you finish some work at school, or you finally apply for that college of your dreams, or you finally go and date the person that you love or that you're interested in. See if it works for you. Give me a call, davidtree.com/free coaching. I would love to help you. So, you know, as I said, this is a very great time, I think, of the year to kind of do some of these things because it's spring. Now it's getting warmer here in SoCal. Today was like 80 something. That was actually hot there for a few minutes. And it's a great time to kind of get your summer, I guess you want to call it, kind of started early. Get your spring kind of off the ground. Maybe you've been kind of, a little lazy, a little dragging your feet all winter. And now it's time to get yourself back on track. Give me a call. Watch the videos. By the way, if you're watching this anywhere but on YouTube, make sure you come over to YouTube. That's where the cookies and donuts are. That's where the coffee and cookies are, all the refreshments. I'm mostly spending my time on YouTube. So if you're watching me on Facebook, on Twitch, on Periscope, thank you. Come over to YouTube. That's where all the fun is. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can get a notification on your phone. Bing! A little email or text every time that I am live so you don't miss a video. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Adios.